Welcome to another Feedback Friday. Hi guys, how are you? I keep doing it in the wrong way. I have a very, very lovely guest today. Many of you know who she is. We have Deborah in the house. Applause. Where's the applause? We can't do automatic applause. Right. Thank you, Deborah. We're self-applauding. We're women. We can do this. Right. So basically the whole point of the show is Deborah, she is an ambassador, an advocate for women's health, for child health. She's a registered midwife. She's the founder of the Budding Nurse, which is a very big student community for nurses. Also, she's a public speaker and a content creator. The list goes on. Is there anything I've left out, Deborah?
No. I'm cool with that. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming. Right, I was just wondering, just to let you know, guys, before I pass you over to Deborah, basically, if you need to know why we're actually here, as shown in the thumbnail, she's a very passionate young lady with regards to studying and becoming a nurse, and there are many, many options. What's this got to do with you? With UK Pride Education, we can actually help you with an admission for nursing in the United Kingdom. So, Deborah, how are you?
I'm fine. And you?
Good. You are such a busy lady. You tell me that you're working back to back and you're looking forward to your holidays next week.
Exactly. Well, it's not always like that, but I think that just happened with my roster this week. So I believe by next week I'll be a little bit free, so I can get to do other things. Yes.
Good.
So it's not always like that. Yeah, but sometimes you just have to do what we have to do. Yeah.
No, you need it because otherwise you get burnout. So you do need that break. You do need that break. Oh,
it's very necessary.
Yeah. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching us, wherever you're watching us from, it'd be great if you could say hi to us and let us know. We'd both like to know which country you're actually watching from, and we'll actually mention your name on the show. Brilliant. So yeah, I'll just move on, Deborah. So basically, there are current strikes happening in Nigeria at the moment. I'm sure you're aware of that. Is that actually affecting our student nurses in Nigeria, for example?
Yes, the strike is currently affecting student nurses in Nigeria. Well, but not every university in Nigeria is on strike at the moment.
Okay.
In Nigeria, you can study nursing from two pathways. Either you go to the university or you go to the School of Nursing. So for those in the School of Nursing, they are not currently experiencing the strike. Yes, studies are still ongoing. But for those in the university setting, in some universities, like I said earlier, the strike is ongoing, and about 90% of my students in the budding nurse community are actually on strike. So,
wow, okay, that's a big percent.
It's not a very good thing, but
no.
Yeah.
So 90% of your of the members in your community, in your student community, they're all actually studying at university.
Those studying nursing in the university are currently on strike.
Right.
It's a mixed group. We have both nurses in the university. We have both nursing students in the School of Nursing. So, but at the moment, most of the students in the university setting are currently on strike.
Wow. Okay.
So right now, I just had to tell them, okay, now that the universities are on strike, you just have to do something to keep yourself busy. You have to go learn some skills, yes, and things like that. So they are getting themselves busy with other things at the moment.
Right. Okay. Well, I believe you have a question for me. Right. So the question, so if you could ask your question.
I have a lot of questions for you.
Please forget these ones. If you have some more off the hoof, that's fine. Not a problem.
All right. So, is it easy for registered nurses to study and work in the UK? Because in my interaction with nurses or other students, you get to hear that it's actually an academic task to combine studies and work at the same time. So, I want to know: is it easy for nurses? If other students are complaining that it's not easy, so for nurses, is it that easy for them to combine work and study together?
Okay. Now you said registered nurses, so nurses who are already coming into the UK who are registered and who are studying. I'm assuming we are talking about master students. Now, Deborah, I don't know if you know, if you are a registered nurse, an internationally registered nurse, you are allowed to come to study in the UK for a master's. And by law, Deborah, you are allowed to work 20 hours a week term time. So when university is open, you are allowed to work. Maximum is 20 hours a week. What your students are saying in the community is absolutely true. Nursing, whether it's an MSc or whether it's a bachelor's, it is always an intense course. It is a very intense course, but despite that, you've got sometimes, it depends on the timetable. Saturday, Sunday, there is no class. And there are some days where perhaps in the afternoon or in the mornings it's free. So you can actually put in the hours at those times. So let's say Saturday you work 7 hours, Sunday you work 7 hours. So that's 14 hours. Okay. How many hours have you got left? You've got another 6 hours. So if you can squeeze those 6 hours somewhere during the week, then that's your 20 hours. Do you see how I did the math? So 7 hours on Saturday, 7 hours on Sunday, and then another 6 hours some other time. That can be done. So it can be done. Places where you can work as a nurse, registered nurse, and studying in the UK, it's a no-brainer. You can work in care homes or in social care. We have a very aged population in the UK, so there is always a demand. There's always a demand. Let me tell you a story. For example,
Okay, tell
my
me.
son, yeah, so basically my son, he's actually finished his first year of his degree. He said, Mum, I haven't found any jobs part-time. He's from the UK. So he said, Mum, I need a job. I said, so I just said, naturally, I said, why didn't you work for a care home, but as an unqualified care assistant? And this is the demand, Deborah. I'm telling you, this is the demand. He's uploaded his CV on Monday. He got an interview call on Friday. Okay, as an unqualified care worker. So now he's getting training on the job, and he's working for the NHS, but as an unqualified care worker. But then he said it didn't really suit him. So now he's working in another position for the NHS just for the summer holidays. So I have, the demand is there, Deborah. The demand is very much there, and it's just a matter of time management. Because at the end of the day, like I said, the registered nurses, they're mature, they're probably coming with their families. So study is the main priority. But if you want to add on working at the side, then you have to manage your time. But like I said, Saturday, Sunday, there's no classes. So you can work full during those times. And then the remaining hours, you have to put them in during the weekdays.
Okay. So even for
Okay.
registered nurses, so you do 20 hours, right?
Yes. 20 hours a week, basically, whether you're studying for bachelors or masters, it's the
Friday
same
pass.
rule. Yeah. It's for both. For both.
Oh, interesting. All right.
Okay.
So
Right.
I've also interacted with some students, and I got to understand that we have those who can come over to the UK for their preliminary nursing studies or for their pre-masters or for their master studies. So I don't know, what's it like in terms of costs, in terms of accommodation,
Ooh,
scholarship, accommodation, and all of that. So what are the
how
available
does it
nursing
work?
study options in the UK for students?
Okay. So basically, Deborah, you've got two options. Now, are you talking about registered nurses or students who want to register?
Yeah. Okay.
Which group?
Both. Both.
Both. Oh my goodness.
Because I
Okay.
think on this live we have both registered nurses and we have both nursing
And
students, both registered nurses and students on the live. So I think we should just
you
give
need
us
for
this
both.
information about both of them. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll start with registered nurses. So basically, what you can do, let's say January is gone. The nursing is such, the masters in the UK, nursing, MSc in nursing tends to start in September every year. So let's say you've missed the boat this year. The only next time you can actually join for a master's direct is September 2023. Now, you might have students in your community who say, I can't wait that long. I don't know about the Naira. It could be getting weaker. Instability in the country. We want to come now. So then there's a solution for that. So basically what registered nurses could do is they could come even earlier. Again, it's you can bring your dependents, not parents, but you can bring your, because I had one of my students who did that. They wanted to bring their mum, but unfortunately you can't bring mum. You can only bring your spouse and your children who are your dependents. But yeah, you can come as early as June for registered nurses for a pre-masters. Okay, so you do one term pre-masters, which is a one-term fast-track route. Once you've done that, then you can move on to masters in September, and that's for registered nurses. Now, so that's that. Now, if you've got, like you said, you've got many students who are actually sitting at home because university is closed. What about them? So we have another option for them. Basically, you can actually come in for pre-registration, but Deborah, I don't mean to sound negative. You may have to start from the beginning. Okay, so you have to start from year one. So basically, we've got two intakes: either January, which is coming up, or September for
Okay.
pre-registration. So basically,
Okay.
the WIAC and NECO, that's not really in par with the A levels in the UK. So you have to do an international stage one. Okay. So
Mm.
once you've done stage one, so you could start in January or in September, and then the following year you start year one of the nursing bachelor's degree.
Mm.
And that could
Oh,
be in either adult nursing or in mental health nursing. And it's a 4-year program. So students
okay.
who are not ready, because Deborah, as you can imagine, for pre-registration, it's not a shortcut vocation. You have to have the full training.
Oh,
So it is for a long visa. So it is for 4 years. First is the
okay.
international year, followed by three years of bachelor's for
Okay.
pre-registration for students who are not a nurse. So yeah,
So what's the
they're the
tuition
two
like?
routes. Sorry?
What's the tuition like for the both of them?
Okay, right. That's a good question, and we shouldn't shy away from things like that. Right. So basically, because it's an international. I need to say this disclaimer first of all. At the moment, currently, I am talking about Dundee University. So
Okay.
your students will be asking which university. There's so many. There's more than 130 in the UK. So the one that I'm promoting is really Dundee University, which is in Scotland. So in Scotland, there is a special scholarship called the Vice Chancellor African Scholarship, which applies for January. They haven't published for September yet, but it's an automatic £5,000 off scholarship. Because Deborah, at some universities it's first come first served, but here it's
Mm.
automatic. Okay, why do they offer this? Because Dundee is actually a very high ranking university, and I'm sure you'll be able to agree. Some universities, the higher the ranking, the fees are high. Let's say Cambridge,
Mm.
Oxford, Imperial, their fees will be high, and the more low you go down, the fees are reflected in that way. So Dundee is a high ranking university. So usually their fee is let's see, let me get it out for you. Because it's a lab-based course for pre-registration, just for that, it's £19,495. So it's about £20,000 for the international year. This is for the pre-reg. But there's one thing before your students get a heart attack. I need to say this. Right. Students, if they do, this is a really nice thing for you guys. If you have a student, Deborah, who does really well throughout the whole of the first year, they can get £6,000 off every single year of their
Amazing.
bachelor's.
Okay.
Okay, so if they get an average of 90% in their international year, if they get a really good percent, an A grade, or if you show that there's progress, you can actually get 6,000. It's called a progression into excellence scholarship. So every year after that year, you can get £6,000 off. So if the degree is 3 years, that's £18,000 off. Okay, so every year for then it'll be £14,000 per year after the scholarship. Okay,
Oh.
so that's what it is.
Oh.
Now,
Yeah.
so that's what
Thank
it is.
you.
So, no.
Okay.
It's not me. It's Dundee University. They're very, very generous. They basically want students not just to pass; they want you to do well because
Oh.
everybody passes. Everybody passes.
Yes.
But then, who can actually excel? That's where the carrot is. Now, for students who are registered nurses, international student who are registered
Oh.
nurses, for them,
Oh.
basically they can do a pre-masters followed by masters. So the pre-masters, I've got the fee. Let me show you. So if you come in June, it's £11,000. Okay, so it's a
11,000 pounds.
3-month course. The pre-master is a 3-month course. It's £11,000. Now scholarship for that, it
How much
depends
is the
on.
upfront payment?
Yeah. So initial deposit is the actual payment. The whole pre-master's upfront.
Oh.
So it's 12. It's so let me just show you that again. Let me show you. So for June, it's £11,000. You have to pay all of it
Okay.
upfront before your visa. Now that's in June. So Deborah, your students would actually have the luxury of time. If you wish, they can actually apply now and pay slowly before June. And then once they've paid it all,
Oh,
then they can apply for
interesting.
the visa. Okay. And then again, for those
Okay.
students from the pre-masters, if they do 90% overall in their grade, again, for them, they get the £6,000 off for their masters.
Okay. Great.
So it is
Oh,
encouraging
that's
news.
great.
So if it's there, if you work hard, you can get it. Either it's the £5,000 off or £6,000 off, depending on how well you do. So you get five or £6,000 off. So yeah, that's what it is.
Well, thank you. Yes, that's a whole lot. Thank you. That's a whole lot of information right there. But
Yeah.
well, I'm very sure our viewers will also want to know for any of these pathways, is that for the registration or the masters?
Oh,
Is it possible for them to do without writing IELTS? Is it possible, or
yes.
it's
No,
compulsory
no,
for
no.
them to
They
write the
have
English
to.
test exam?
Yeah, yeah. Basically, Deborah,
And
for both courses.
if they're going,
Oh no, her internet.
to hear me,
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you now, Deborah. What did you
all
say?
right. So, and if the IELTS exam is a requirement, what is the band score? What is the requirement? So we
Okay.
have a lot of universities come up with their own requirements for students who want to study nursing or any other course. So for Dundee University, what is the requirement like?
Okay. Right. So basically, I've written this down. So I'll write it down in the caption as well. So if you are a registered nurse and you're only here for the pre-masters, the overall score they want, Deborah, is 6. Okay, no less than 5.5. Any skills. So overall score 6, and any skill shouldn't be
All
less
round
than 5.5.
5.5.
No, no, no,
Sorry,
6. No, Deborah, it's
6.
6. Yeah.
Okay.
And you know the 4 skills, they don't want any skills which is less than 5.5.
Oh, great.
Okay. And for pre-reg students, their requirement is slightly different. They also want overall 6, no score less than 5.5, but in writing they'd like 6. That's
Oh,
that's
6.
the that's required. Yeah,
And they
for the
combine any,
pre-registration.
is clubbing or allowed? Is clubbing of results allowed?
What do you
I
mean?
mean, okay, what I mean by clubbing is that
Oh,
we
oh,
get to
oh,
hear people clubbing. You have to combine two IELTS results. Is it allowed? That's what I mean.
oh. Are they allowed? I don't understand what you mean. What do you mean by that, Deborah?
Okay. What I mean by clubbing is that, let's say, for instance, some people don't have their required band score at the first
Okay,
sitting. So yes, is it possible for them to combine, let's say for English, for the writing, in the first attempt, maybe they had 5.5 and second attempt they
right.
had 6. So is it possible for them to join two IELTS
Yes.
results for them to get an
Oh,
admission?
yes,
That's what
yes,
I mean.
yes. Now,
Oh,
listen,
great.
Deborah, you've actually said a very good point. For example, what happens if one of your skills is not at the right number? You can come here if your results are slightly lower, but you have to
Oh,
pay.
great.
So there is. I mean, in West Africa, everybody's English is very good anyway, so it shouldn't be a problem. But it's a skill, isn't it? Getting the right IELTS score is a skill. So if you wish to actually come here and you don't have that kind of level of English, you can actually do pre-sessional English. So you can come earlier and do a bit more English in the UK, but you'll have to pay for that. So it can be done.
Oh, okay.
It can be done. But
Oh,
yeah, yeah, that's what it is.
okay. So,
Right.
what's the transition like? Most times, immediately after studies, the next question is what next? After my studies, what do I have to do next? How do I get to transition from what study to work? And I've interacted with a lot of nurses who have transitioned from study to working for the NHS or for care
Yeah.
homes. So, what's this transition like? Because I don't know, you are over there. So, how do you get to transition immediately after work? Immediately after study, how do you get to transition? Because I know a lot of nurses want to stay back, either work for the NHS or work for the care home. So is it possible?
Yeah.
I know it's possible, but what's the transition
Yeah.
procedure like? Yes.
Okay. Right. Thank you for that. That's a very good question, and I'm sure a lot of students will be waiting for this answer. Basically, if you are on the pre-registration course, Deborah, there is actually a module about getting NMC registration. I
Oh,
think in
really?
Nigeria you have the same thing, right? NMC.
Yes, yes, we do. We do.
Yeah, yeah. It's the same letters in the UK as well. So basically, during the pre-registration, there is actually a module called Introduction to the NMC. So they actually
Oh,
teach you how to get registered. So by the time you
oh,
finish with the course, the pre-registration course, you become accredited with the NMC, and then you practice with the NHS. So that's the
Wow.
pre-registration. Now, those
Oh,
who, like yourself, who are very experienced and who are already registered nurse, it's slightly different. So basically, once you've completed your NMC, your masters, your pre-masters and your masters, then you need to actually apply for the NMC. And when
wow.
you're in the UK, you can do the OSCE and the CBT. Is it called a CBT test? There's multiple choice
Yeah,
questions
everything.
and
Yeah.
role play. So you have to do that in the UK anyway. So after the masters, you can do that, and then you get the NMC, and then you qualify to work with the NHS.
So you don't need to write any other. You don't need to write the English test exam again.
Once you've got it, that's it. Once you've got the
Oh,
required
wow.
IELTS,
Interesting.
so it's a 2-in-1. That's true actually, because even for NMC,
Hmm.
you need IELTS. What IELTS do you need for NMC in the UK? Do you know?
You said what? I didn't get that.
Yeah, for I need to Google this. So basically, for the NMC, in the
Yes.
UK, not Nigeria, in the UK, I think you do need an IELTS. So if you get that
Yeah.
first time round, you don't need to repeat it because it
Oh,
has a shelf life of 2 years. So then
really?
you're sorted, you're
But
covered.
from what you mentioned, the band score for if you have to write your exam right here before if you're coming over to work, it's
Yeah,
quite different from what you just mentioned now. So I don't know if it's possible for them to still accept that IELTS band score while
in the
when you
in
want to
right.
transition from study to work.
Okay, I'm just going to find out right now that for the
All right.
NMC, for UK NMC, English requirement. Let
Because
me
I
just
know it's
see.
a
Let me just
seven, a minimum of 7,777. I think it's only 6.5 for
really.
writing. So yes.
In that case, you'll have to do it again. In
Oh,
that case, you'll have to do it again because that's the
oh,
minimum required just for the course, for the visa.
oh,
But then for the
oh.
NMC, you have to do it again.
You have to write another one. Oh,
Yeah.
great. That's
Okay.
that's a whole lot of information right there. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think I also want to know, aside from working for the NHS or working for care homes, are there other options? Are there other work options for nurses who have decided to go abroad? That they decided to maximize international opportunities to advance their careers. So, is there any other way they can work? Is it just the NHS? Is it just the care homes? Are there other options that they can explore when they are in
My
the United Kingdom?
goodness, my goodness. The pandemic is actually working for nurses, actually. It's actually working to their advantage. I
Oh,
mean, you can work in public health. I mean, there's
wow.
no,
Okay.
I mean, the lists go on. As a registered nurse or as a graduate nurse, there is not just nursing, but there are so many other professions you can go into. You can go into education. You can work your way through a PhD. You can actually work for public health. So there are other
Mm,
careers that you can do after the nursing course, as well as social care. Care homes. That's a huge sector in itself. So there are many places that you can work apart from nursing with this degree. So basically, Deborah, what I would say to students is nursing is it's not easy. It is difficult.
yeah,
They're the
it's not.
most hardworking professionals in the UK, but it can be lucrative if you wish. So yeah, it is a lucrative career.
Wow. Thank you very much for your time. I'm so grateful. Thank you for
No
having me.
problem.
Yeah. I don't know if
No
there's any other
problem.
thing you want to ask me.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, your students who are actually sitting at home at the moment because they've got their strikes. I really feel for them because so if they were to come here, would there be, how would they, on what kind of finances do you think they'll be coming here? Would it be using their parents or their savings, or how would that work?
Well, for the undergraduates, I feel if they'll have to take up international opportunities to advance in their careers, I think their parents will have to take up that responsibility,
Yeah.
or friends, families, sponsors, or something like that. But for
Okay.
registered nurses, I'm sure a lot of registered nurses would want to take up this opportunity, and they'll at the moment they are saving actively to do that, so I don't think it
Mm,
would be a problem. Some could also access student loans or things like that, but one thing I know is that when there is a will, there is a way. So
that's
if
true.
you're, yeah, so if you're very particular about your career growth, I think funding should not be the issue. You should be able to get funding for things like this. So I believe that should not be a problem for anyone who really wants to take up international
Yeah.
opportunities to advance in their careers. They should have mapped out a road,
Mm.
or they should have mapped out how to source for funds and how to sustain themselves even while they are in the United Kingdom. So if anyone is taking up the opportunity, I'm very sure that they have this all sorted out before they
Mm.
leave the country. So I don't think you
No,
have a
yeah, that's for
problem with
sure.
that.
No, you're right.
Yeah. So
You're right.
yeah.
You're right. Where there's a will, there's a way. You know, I was just going to say, I was going to say to your community, to your student community, that while the policy in place, Deborah, you please encourage your students to come, because you know politics, things are in the
Mm-hmm.
world, everything's a bit, you know,
Mm-hmm.
unstable. While the UK policy is very student friendly, where if you're a master's
Oh,
student you can bring your family, you know, and you
interesting.
can work while you're studying. While these policies are in place, now is a really a good time to come. So I'd encourage any of you, if you're interested or if you know anybody who's interested, then you know, just DM me direct.
Yes, like I said in my post this morning, I said Afsana is very accessible. You can send her. Oh, sorry
Sorry.
about that. You can send her a message. Yes, I know. You would have some students who are going to come to your DM after this live section to ask you one or two questions. So, and I believe that you are in the best position to give them all
Sorry.
the necessary information they need as regarding studying nursing in the UK. Yes.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much for your time. I know you are a very busy lady, so I'm going to let you go. I'm really honored that you're here, and I really hope that this video has been very helpful for your student community.
Yes.
So
Yes.
thank you so
Thank
much,
you for having
Deborah,
me.
and I'm sure one day we will meet. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
All right, then take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye too.
Oh, bye. Oh, I didn't realize. Now you know this is actually live because I actually sneezed twice. That is so rude of me. I do apologize. There's pollen, hay fever. Right. So if you feel inspired by what Deborah is talking about, we are talking about a community figure who is very active in this field. She promotes nursing as a profession. The way that I met her is unbelievable. Her posts are, I should have brought her on, I should have said it in front of her. So basically, her posts are so inspirational. If you are at home, you're probably frustrated because the universities are closed at the moment. You must follow Deborah because she's in the field and she knows how you feel. She will empathize with you, and with her resources, she will also be able to guide you through your nursing career. Okay, I'll give you all of her details so you can contact her and follow her and subscribe and all these things for Deborah. Well, with regards to UK Bright Education, you know the drill. If you are interested in studying in the UK, all you need to do is to DM me direct. I apologize for sneezing. That won't happen again. I'll have some antihistamines next time. Okay, until next time, my friends, take care. All the best. Bye.